phenomenal. Peaches, 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 peaches. Girl, y'all, Peach McIntyre is coming for single mothers, single black mothers specifically. And you know this single mother has something to say about it. But first, get money, what you say, get money, what you say, what you say, get money, what you say, uh, what you say, what you say, what's up, money getters? It's your girl Charity, and I am the mommy money getter because this single black mother is gonna get to that bag. I have 5 daughters, 2 granddaughters, and myself. You guys know I like to shop. So, with that being said, I got to have a bag. And I can't wait on nobody to give me a bag. I'm going to get out there and get it. I grew up watching lots of women, whether they be single mothers, whether they be married mothers, but especially the single mothers, the single black mothers, they was hustling just as hard as the men. And they didn't make excuses for themselves. They got to it. Okay, my godmother was a G. She did not play. Okay, she had 3 sons and she made sure they stayed with it. Kept a clean house and everything else. She did not play. She was an inspiration for a lot of who I am today. My mother didn't play. My grandmother didn't play. Married and all, they didn't play. You think they were going to sit around and say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that? No, I didn't come from that kind of stock. And I didn't come from somebody sitting on their butt, waiting on the government, waiting around to see, hey, who's going to give me food stamps on social media, proud to say they're on food stamp, proud to say they're on WIC, and they got a man next to them. I don't like talking about Peach McIntyre. Let's just keep that real. I'm going to keep it real. I do not like talking about her because then what comes with her is that negative energy. You got to deal with the peach patchers. I have another name for them, but I'm too classy to say it on social media. But you got to deal with all that comes with her. And you don't want Peach McIntyre, you don't want to be a part of that algorithm. It's bad enough you got to see her videos pop up here and there, but you don't want to be in her matrix because then you become a part of that type of a part of her whole get down. I don't like Peach McIntyre. I'm just gonna be real. When I first stumbled upon her videos, I couldn't understand why is so many people hating on Peach McIntyre because she had a lot of haters. I said, well, she looks like a married woman taking care of her kids. I would see her husband Wood's videos all the time and his posts on social media. Um, I never saw Peach for a long time. I didn't see anything that she had. It took me about a few months before I realized, oh, that's his wife. And I had heard about Peach before. Someone asked me, oh, do you watch Peach McIntyre? And I was like, no, who is that? And this is how I've heard about Peach McIntyre. Oh, she's the lady that's on social media. Her hair be sticking up all over her head. People be in her comments. You should see how people talk about her. They talk about her bad. And I'm like, why would I want to see a person, a mom who's on social media looking terrible like that? But you get to talking about something enough, and then it'll come up on your social media. I don't know if you realize that. Like if you've been on social media long enough, if you have a Facebook, if you're on Instagram, if you talk about something on the phone, or if you talk about something near your phone, it's going to come up. Guys, we're talking about Peach McIntyre. She has a problem with single black mothers. As a single black mom, I got a problem with her having a problem with us. And not only that, it's not so much her opinion, it's that she has a large platform. She has a large platform to speak that opinion to. And you're being irresponsible. But I'm not about to be irresponsible with her, but I'm still going to come for that. I'm still going to come for that. Okay? Because you're not just going to sit up here and keep dogging single moms. And single moms are your core audience. She posted single Black women are not my core audience, they're my core haters. The lies you tell, if you go under a Peach McIntyre post right now, who are you going to see commenting? If you go to Peach McIntyre reactors, whether they be Peach McIntyre haters, whether they be Peach McIntyre fans, all black women, maybe a black male here and there. You don't see anybody else because who else will watch that? Nobody else will watch her. So I think I probably seen one person. That's when Peach was going viral at the time about the hurricanes, and I think I saw one or two others doing a reaction video to her. Because if somebody is going viral and they're in the algorithm, then it's likely that other people will see you and probably comment on you so that they can get some of that algorithm too. And I don't doubt that she has a few others outside of black women that are her in her audience. I don't doubt that. But the bulk of them are black women. The bulk of your audience, Peach, is black women. You know that. You know that. So stop lying. And you go out of your way to offend anybody you can. That's not a surprise to me. It's not a surprise to me. You have come on here and cursed God. You have cursed God's name because you said you had lost everything. You had lost your car. Your husband was cheating. You didn't know what you were going to do. You were in a shelter and you cursed God. So how can you say, y'all, hypocrite, blasphemous, all those things I could say. And I could comment on it because she's a public figure and she comes on here so we can respond and we could comment. No, in no way, shape, or form am I here to bully. I feel like she needs to be prayed for. And I feel like God is being very patient with her to turn it around and to stop with all of her shenanigans. He's giving her chance after chance. She needs to wake up and recognize that. It's one thing to get on social media and push the envelope. It's quite another to hurt people. And you know you're hurting people and you don't care. It's sad when you have come on social media and you have dogged your mother and your whole entire family. And I'm sure that there's some dysfunction there. I'm sure that Peach has experienced some toxicity growing up. Who doesn't? How many of us have not grown up in households that left much to be desired? A lot of us have. A lot of us have grown up with mothers who probably weren't the they weren't Susie homemakers or they weren't June cleavers. That's the honest truth. And some of the things that Peach said, her mother was young, but I haven't seen Peach say her mom did anything to her that I haven't seen her do to her own children. I'm a mom. I love my kids. I would never embarrass or humiliate them on social media, not intentionally. Not intentionally. If my kids say they don't want to be on social media or they don't want to be in a video, I don't put them on there. Or if they ask me to take something down, they don't like it. They don't like how I look. They don't like how they look. I'm taking it down. Peach is brand new baby. She got brand new twins. Are they 6 months old yet? And she takes the opportunity to film her new baby, who is a preemie. Well, not a preemie. He was in a NICU. I think he was a full-term baby, but he was a low birth weight baby. So I don't think the little guy has filled out completely. I think their twins are cuties. They're cutie patooties, but she took the opportunity to film that innocent child looking his worst with his face all screwed up. Babies can make a face. They're either making a cute face, they're either getting ready to poop, getting ready to cry. You never know with these babies. They just do whatever. And we just like it and we just love it because they're our babies. But not Peach. Peach filmed that baby looking like an old man crying and sounding weird and with the weirdest looking face and posted it to social media so that her audience could laugh and poke fun at that innocent child. Now, if a mom would do that to her own seed, I know I don't have anything coming. Her fans should know they have nothing coming. But you have so many people who enjoy that kind of content, and it's sad. It's really sad that people enjoy that kind of content to the point that if she comes on social media and she just shows her and her family in a past positive light, her fans start saying, "Oh, you're being boring. You're boring. You're boring." They don't want to see that. They want to see her embarrassing herself and showing her family in a negative light and coming down on her husband and showing him in his boxer briefs in precarious positions. She wants to do that. But let's get to it. Let's get to the movie Straw. I did a review of Straw the other night after watching it, and as always, I was prepared to hate on Tyler Perry's movie. I really was, because Tyler comes out with these quickly produced movies that he likes to brag was made in 2 or 3 days, and cheap sets and cheap costumes and cheap wigs and subpar acting is always running rapid in a Tyler Perry movie. So my daughter was like, "Let's watch Straw. Let's watch Tyler Perry's new movie. I think it's good. I've been watching it." And I was like, "Okay, we'll watch it later," because my other daughter, she wanted to see Jenny in Georgia. I think that's what it is on Netflix. She wanted me to binge watch that with her. We got to finish watching that, by the way. That's the third season is pretty good. I think that's what it's called, Georgia and Jenny. Jenny, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, guys. I don't get everything right. And I said, "Okay, well, we'll watch it later." So we started watching it later, and I'm sitting there just complaining like, "Oh my God, look at how cheap the set is. It looks like the background buildings were made with cardboard." And then when Tiana Taylor came on, I'm like, "Come on, Tyler, you could have got her a better wig than that." I'm just complaining about the movie the whole time, to finally my daughter's like, "I can't watch this anymore. I don't like it. It's too much for me." Because all within the first 30 minutes, this lady wakes up in a dilapidated apartment, gives her daughter a bath in a disgustingly dirty tub. Her daughter tells her, "Hey, mom, I need $40 from my lunch." And she's like, "Well, baby, did the teacher ask to tell you that in front of the class?" And she's like, "Yes." The lady has an eviction notice on her table. Then she's rushing to take her daughter to school because she has to go to work. She drops her daughter off at school. The principal looks at her crazy, and she's feeling bad because she knows she needs to pay for those lunch fees. So she gets to work. Work is a is a cluster F dot K. We'll just say that. And so as people there, they're complaining because the lines are long. Her employer is short staffed. Her supervisor is coming down hard on her. And then somebody throws a bottle at her and she's trying to clean that up. And then the school calls about something. So she has to rush to the school, and she's needs her paycheck because it's paycheck day. She needs to pay her rent because the landlord wants the rent. And she needs to take her daughter's $40 to the school so her daughter can eat lunch. Then this lady, before she can get get to the school, she goes by the bank. The bank says, "You don't have any more money here." So she goes to the school, and the school's DCFS takes her daughter. Okay? So she tries to go back to work because she needs her paycheck. She needs to pay her rent. She needs to get everything together. So she's in a panic. And she's going back to work, and she gets into a car accident with an off-duty cop, crooked cop. So due to a road rage incident, he hits her car, but says she caused it. Her car gets impounded, so she walks back to work, and now it's raining. Guys, I'm not kidding you. This is all happening within the first 20 to 30 minutes of the movie. She goes back to work. Her supervisor is beyond livid because he gave her a quick break to check on her daughter, and here she is coming back wet and still asking for her paycheck while she's arguing with her boss. Some burglar, some men come in to rob the place, and she's wrestling for the pew pew pew, and it ends up murking one of the dudes, and the boss says, "Oh, you done did it now. You try to set me up. I'm calling the cops on you. You're about to go to jail." And what does she do? Pow, pow. She murks the boss. And now it's on. Now she's really lost it. So she done got the paycheck with droppings all over it, red droppings all over it, runs to the bank, and the teller will not cash the check because she says she doesn't have an ID. So she pulls a pew pew on her, like, I just want to cash this check. Mind you, this mother is going through all of this and she has no one to help her. She's not asking anybody for help. She works two jobs. She just wants her paycheck so she can pay her rent and take care of her daughter's lunch fees. All she wants is to cash her check, and now the lady at the bank is set tripping. This woman, I have not seen her going. She went through all of this alone, and not one time did I see her call somebody and say, "Hey, can I borrow $40 for you from you? The school is tripping. They want, uh, I don't know what her daughter's name was in the movie. I forgot. They want $40 for Nene's uh, lunch fees." I didn't see her do that even once. When her daughter was quote unquote taken away, because we find out what happened with that later, she didn't call not one person to say, "Hey, my baby just got taken away. Can you come help me? Can you come do this? Can you do that?" No, she went back to work for her paycheck. She went back to get her paycheck, and then she gets fired. And she does not call anybody, "Hey, I just got fired. My car just got impounded. My baby just got taken." No, she goes to the bank, and all she wants is to cash the check so she can go and pay the $40 for her daughter's lunch fees. That's all she's talking about in the movies. She's not ever saying, "Can I need some money from you? Can you please help me?" As a matter of fact, she has nothing. And as she's taking her daughter to school, on the way to her car, somebody else is asking her for money and she's giving them $5. The landlord is like, "How are you going to get somebody money and you haven't paid your rent yet?" And she's like, "Look, I'm going to pay you today. As soon as I get paid from work today, I'll be back to pay you." Peach watched the movie and didn't understand it. She too smart for herself, Miss Know It All. Right, Kenya? Right. How do you watch the movie and say that this woman wanted somebody to feel sorry for her? Now, I know that what Peach always does, and that's what she's doing right now, is trying to get people riled up. But you're not going to do that on the backs of single black mothers. You're not about to do that. And like I said, she's a public figure with a large platform, and I'm not here to bully her. I'm not here to even try to change her mind. What I am here to do is be a voice of reason and a sympathizer with other single black moms like myself. Happy Sunday, Nisha. You saw the topic of discussion is the Straw movie. If you haven't saw the Straw movie, go see it. Go see it. It's on Netflix, starring Taraji P. Henson, Tiana Taylor. Her performance was a little shaky, but uh, Sherry Shepherd's in it. I like Sherry Shepherd's character. I like the movie. Um, it left a lot to be desired, but as always, Taraji P. Henson is going to bring a performance. She carried the movie. She's going to always carry a movie. Anytime you see Taraji, she's going to do her thing. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. And like I said, it was the ending for me because Taraji's doing all this stuff because she's actually, the whole entire movie is Taraji. And when I think about it, I get chills. I want to cry. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to watch it tonight. Seems to me Peach missed the message. Absolutely, Nisha. Yes, trying to use single black mothers, and she ain't no better. But these type ladies are the one who support her big time. Exactly, Kenya. I was just saying this earlier. It is single black mothers who are your supporters. It's single black mothers who were there for you when you got evicted for the umpteenth time. You're saying that all the movie Straw represented was the single black mother struggle, and single black mothers need to uh, pick themselves up by their bootstraps, so to speak, and stop looking for sympathy. That woman worked two jobs. She didn't ask nobody for help. But Peaches, 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 you come on here crying, what you say, snot booger tears, Tears running down your face because Wood cheated on you again. Because your mama scrubbed your neck when you were 2 years old. You're a grown woman with 9 kids crying over a man. You can't cry over nothing. You got 9 babies that need you. I would be in tears too if I had that many babies, all under 5. I would probably be somewhere with like a morphine drip if I had that kind of chaos going on. I don't care. 9 kids is a lot. Without a nanny to help, without somebody to come in and help, absolutely not. I don't care how good your husband is. That's too many, that's too much. That's too much for me. I got 3 teenagers, and I'd be like, y'all go sit down somewhere. I need to think. And I love my kids, and I'll do anything for them. But sometimes mommy need a break, and Peach knows that better than anyone. She was on child number 7 when she disappeared on her family, when she abandoned her husband and children for 3 days because she needed a break. So how come you don't understand the plight of a single black mother? No, they cannot handle all those children. And she knows they can't. She knows they can't. That's why she's constantly out and about shopping and doing everything under the sun to escape Wood and those children. Wood has those children all the time, much more than her, because she's out working, creating content. Come on now. Come on now, let's keep it real. But in the movie Straw, Jania, which was Taraji P. Henson's character, she was experiencing a hallucination. When she woke up that morning, she never woke up and gave her child a bath. And come to find out, her child had passed away the night before. So when she woke up the next morning, uh, it's shown afterwards, after all these things have occurred, it's shown that Taraji is in a state of delusion. She never took her daughter to school that morning. When she took her daughter to school, there was nobody there. And the principal was looking at her crazy because she's like, girl, what are you on? Where's your child at? When she went back to the school to pay the fees, the principal was like, are you okay? Do you need some help? Because she's coming to ask for fees and her daughter is gone. And when she keeps saying, I just need to pay the $40, that was the last thing that she knew she could do to take care of her child. That was the last thing she could do for her daughter. Wood always sleeping right. He'd be asleep, the twins just looking around, all googly eyed, and their daddy sleep. They're laying on his chest, sleep, Kenya. Yeah, so this woman, this story is what a lot of women are going through. We see story after story of women experiencing postpartum depression, of unaliving themselves and their children. We see stories. There's this story, I don't know, some of you may have heard about this. I read a couple of months ago. I heard about it maybe a year or two ago, but I actually deep dived into the story because I hate looking at stories like that where children were affected by women. And on this page, a couple of days ago on my page, I did a live about my struggles with anxiety and depression. So again, this story hit home for me as someone who has battled with my own mental illness. And some people say anxiety is not mental illness. Well, it's not mental wellness. You're sick when you're anxious. You're sick when you are depressed. So, and I was sick for a long time. And I was hanging on by a thread. And if not for God, I would have lost my mind. I could have been a Janiyah. A lot of women know that they could have been a Janiyah. A lot of women looked at that story and they didn't see somebody to feel sorry for. They saw somebody who was battling with her mental health and lost. That's what I saw, because losing her child was a last straw. It was her breaking point. She was doing everything she could to keep it together. She was doing everything that she could to keep going for her child. And now her child is no longer here. Her baby is gone. So she had a nervous breakdown. I think the first time I met a woman who had a nervous breakdown, and the first time I had ever heard nervous breakdown, I was probably 8 years old. One of my school friends, I used to go to her house all the time, and she had a sister that was older, um, maybe 15 or 20 years older. She was married, and I think her husband and her, something happened between them, and she had a nervous breakdown. This woman was quiet, meek, I mean, whispering, speaking uh, like just so weak and so quiet. She was so quiet. And then my mother said, and I think my mother knew who they were. So my mother said, yes, I'm going to call my mother and ask her about this woman. She'll remember. If she's listening, she'll remember. But this was years ago, years and years ago. We lived in the city of LA. This was years ago, but I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot. So I know the struggle, and I will never fix my mouth to get on here and put one woman down, not even Peach McIntyre with her trash talking stuff. I wouldn't even put her down because I know that deep down hurt people hurt people. I know she's miserable. What's up, Jazzy J? Girl, we're talking about Peach silly, goofy self and how she's coming for single black mothers. Girl, she done got me. She done got my pennies in a bunch. I'm not even going to hold you. Not really, not like that. But it's just that I get tired of her coming on here, putting every down, and especially coming at black women. And like I said earlier, she's come on here dragging her mom, dragging her husband, dragging her brand new babies. So why would I feel like we would be any different? But no, she's not going to do us like that. She's not going to do us like that because when her simple self uh, allegedly gambled away all her money, it was black women that came to her rescue because they didn't want to see those babies on the street. They bought those wake up with Peach classes and go to sleep with Peach classes, not because they wanted to wake up with her. They did it to support her. And she knows they did it to support her so her and her family wouldn't end up on the street because she can't sell a class to save her life right now. Nobody's buying those classes. Yeah, she said we lack accountability. Are you crazy? Have you lost your marbles? Please. Please. And then I'm not going to do like Peach and come down on married mothers because I feel insulted. But I'm going to be honest with you. Growing up, I never wanted to be married because I saw married women as weak and too dependent on men, especially abusive men. I've seen it way too much. Just like I'm seeing stories of women, and I'm gonna go back to that story before I drift off into this. I digressed. Let me go back. I saw the story. What I was gonna say earlier was about this woman who, and if you're in here and you haven't hit the like button, please do that. Please give me a thumbs up. That really helps me out, especially if you're here and you're enjoying the conversation. But there was this one mother, and she was fine, and up until she had a child, and she had her child, and that's when uh, whatever was going on with her started to manifest itself. Because that's what can happen a lot of times too. Like you can be mentally okay, you can be fine, but having a child changes a woman's psychological makeup. It changes her physiological makeup. Your organs are displaced when you're carrying a child, and you have a surge of hormones that can result in you having a chemical imbalance. And all of these different changes that are occurring can result in postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, which lingers on forever, or postpartum psychosis. And I believe this mother started experiencing that. Well, the family tried to help her and tried to get her on medication, but it's hard when somebody has a mental illness like that, when they are going through a psychological trip, especially if they don't stay on their medication. And for some people, it's hard to stay on the medication because the medication has side effects. Some of them are wanting to um, unalive yourself. Some of them are weight gain. Some of them are just a host of things that you don't want to go through. And it makes you feel like you're not yourself. They slow you down. They make you want to sleep all the time, or they make your heart race. So that's a lot of changes to go through. But sometimes if you're going through psychosis, you need that medication because it takes those psychotic thoughts away. Well, this mother, she was having a mental break and she took her child to the park and pushed him on the swing, and she didn't stop pushing him on the swing until somebody who had noticed and said, wait a minute, this lady is in the same spot in the same clothes, like, and she's still pushing this baby on the swing. So they called the police, and the baby was expired on the swing. So they don't know. I from the what I read, I didn't get to the part if the mother had actually unalived the child or if the child was unalived when she put him on the swing. But she had been standing there for 2 days pushing that baby on the swing. This was a black mother. Had the baby before, or tried to have the baby before, but maybe she was on her meds and had got the baby back. I mean, if you see how she started out before she had the child, how she ended up as she was going through that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's crazy the things that we can go through, that the human mind can go through. I was talking about how I was in my life. I talked about how I was working, I was a mom, and how my job got real stressful for me. And I know that because I needed that, I was divorced, to provide for me and my children. And even when my anxiety was real bad, I still went to work because, like Janaya, your single mother, there is no feeling sorry for yourself. There is no being tired. There is no waiting on some night and something coming to come save you. You gotta get it done. You gotta get it done. So rhetoric, like the welfare queen uh, dynamic that was pressed upon black women in the 80s, and the single teen mother that was put upon us in the 90s, to the point where they put Planned Parenthood all in our neighborhood so that we wouldn't have our babies. Everybody else can have a baby. Everybody else can have their babies, but not black girls, right? And now, thank God, you don't see a lot of black girls having babies as teenagers, but now black women are to the point where they're not having babies at all. So the black population has went nowhere. Everybody else's population has increased. Our population has not increased at all because they, meaning the powers that be, have convinced us that we are undeserving of motherhood, you know. And again, like I said, I feel like if anybody should understand the story of Janaya in Tyler Perry's movie, if any woman should be able to feel her, it should be Peach, because she's shaved her hair off, and she said numerous times, I felt like jumping in the ocean and I cannot swim. And that was cold for her. She felt like she wanted to take herself out. I hope this is not triggering to anyone. Um, but that's what Peach Mcintyre said out of her own mouth. You felt like that because just because your husband cheated, not because you couldn't pay your bills, not because you were a single mom, because you were married at the time, not because you felt like the world was on your shoulders, but your husband cheated, and although you had 6 kids at the time, you didn't want to be here no more. Now, what kind of mess is that? What kind of mess is that? Peach McIntyre, you came to YouTube crying and complaining about your mama. You came to social media because you said you were in a shelter and you seen another mom come on here and get rich on YouTube. You came to social media with the grift, with the woe is me story. My mama mistreated me as a kid, and people start sending you things because at the time when you came on social media, you were a single black mom and you were driving a raggedy van. As a matter of fact, you were driving a raggedy car, and you said the Peach Patchers helped you buy a van because they donated to you. They sent you pots and pans. You didn't even know how to use a proper pot and pan, and you said you had been a millionaire before. Peach, if you had already been a millionaire, become and lost it all before coming to social media, you have never showed us that. You're a grifter. You have not shown us one time you living high on the hog before coming to social media. You love to go back to those high school pictures, to you at the prom. You'll show those pictures. I've seen you post those pictures time and time again because that's the story you love. That's when you first was with wood and in love with wood, and that's when you were optimistic and full of hope. You thought you had your whole life ahead of you. You were so in love with wood at that time. That was before you found out that he was a cheater and an abuser. You were pregnant with McKay, so you said, and pregnant with Hope. You just thought your life was going to be everything. I don't believe she's been a millionaire either. Because, first of all, if you made a million before, it seems that you would have learned from your mistakes. And it seems like you wouldn't be so, what's the word I want to say? You wouldn't be so reckless with your money, gambling it, spending it the way you do. You would have a little bit more discretion in how you conduct yourself as a businesswoman, because I do believe that she's probably made well over a million on social media. She's been on YouTube for the last 5 years, and her content and the classes that she has sold warrants that she has made at least a million plus. So I do believe that she earned. I believe she's a high earner on YouTube, not as high of a earner that she wants people to think she is, because she has to say, "Oh, I gambled my money away. I gambled away thousands of dollars." Because why would somebody buy a class from her if she's a broke influencer? Why am I buying your class? You're not making money. So it's, oh, I gambled all my money away. I think you gave a lot of it to Wood. And I think you guys did gamble a lot of it away. But I just think you didn't make, I think you weren't making that kind of money like you were making when you first came on social media in 2020 and 2021. When you were selling classes and when you were doing one on ones. I think the more you were on social media, the more you had to find new ways to stay in the algorithm and to get attention, because you weren't making the kind of money that you wanted to make, and yet you're having more and more children. So now Wood has to be sacrificed. Now I have to say he was cheating, because when he was really cheating, you didn't tell us so. You just shaved your head. You didn't want anybody to know this perfect picture that you were painting was all a ruse. It's all a lie. It was all a lie. You don't want anybody to know that. And that's what a lot of married women do. They don't want anybody to know that they're at home getting their behinds kicked. You don't want anybody to know that your husband works, but most of his money is being spent on other women or gambling or drinking and drugging. Really, the house is being ran on your income. You don't want anybody to know that, yes, your husband works and makes all the money, but he doesn't give you a dime. He buys all the food. He pays all the bills. You don't even know how much your husband makes. You're broke, and you rely on your husband for everything. You don't want anybody to know that your husband never comes home at night. Wendy Williams came on TV talking about Big Kevin and Little Kevin for years. Remember that? Remember how she brought her tail on TV talking about Big Kevin and how he does this and how he does that and how he brings her into work? And the whole time Big Kevin had, what was her name? Something, I don't know. She's a side chick. I don't even want to say her name. The whole entire time Wendy was on TV, she was keeping a secret. Her husband was going home. After he got her home, he was going on to be with his younger, much younger woman. And she was driving Wendy's cars. She was living in an apartment paid for but with Wendy's money. Had a baby by that man and everything else. And when the world found out, Wendy tried to keep it cool. She divorced him and everything, but Wendy lost her mind. It wasn't because of the drinking. I don't believe that Wendy has dementia. I believe Wendy lost her mind because here she was with this man who she loved all these years and he didn't want her. TD Jakes talks about that. He has a sermon. If I find it, I'll post it in my community tab. You finally caught me live in the bushes listening and cooking. Thank you. I appreciate you for joining. If you haven't already did so, facts not fiction, please hit my thumbs up for me. That'd be a great help. I do that all the time. I lurk too because I like to support or I like the conversation, but I might be, doing something else. I listen to a lot of lives because, it's entertaining. And instead of watching TV, I might have somebody in my headphones while I'm cooking or while I'm working on something else. So I appreciate you for joining. No, they'll never show us the real truth. Single mothers are doing it by themselves because they don't have a man. And listen, I'm not going to make a blanket statement against married mothers. And again, I'm not talking about married mothers because Peach came for single black mothers. I'm not doing that. I'm just keeping it real. I've been married. I was married to somebody who I loved with all my heart and soul. Was it a good marriage? Absolutely not. But I was ready to go to the ends of the earth with that man. And it was a crazy ride with him. So I know that too well, all too well too. I told y'all I might talk about that one day, but I don't know. I have to have I have to have millions of followers and get paid millions of dollars to tell that story because that was a crazy one. But yeah, I know. I remember working with someone, and one time they told me, "Oh, because I had at that time my alarm wasn't working, and they made a comment. They said, "Oh, your alarm doesn't work," and then they commented, "Oh, one thing I love about my husband, he always made sure I had a new car." Why that lady get into a bad accident in her car that same day? That's why I don't pay to talk about people. And why that man was just running through their money. They were existing off of her one paycheck. His paycheck was going on him carrying wads of cash and him doing this and that. They were living off credit and her one paycheck. But she wanted to make it seem like she had this husband that was a provider and a protector and who made sure she had everything she needed. That's good when it's real. Because I know some women who their husband don't want them to lift a finger. They provide for their family. They don't want their wives working. They want them to stay home and take care of their babies. They make sure that they live a good life. They make sure that their wife. I know men who come home and set the paycheck down. My stepfather gives my mother his paycheck and just make sure I have this and that. He gives her his money. I know people who do that. My grandma, shoot, please, she wouldn't. My grandma don't pay for nothing. And you know what my grandmother said? Sorry, grandma, don't get mad at me. She said, he ain't caught till I catch him. And if I catch him, he ain't caught if I don't want him to be. Because my grandma don't pay for nothing. So I know women who are in relationships with men and they are well taken care of. I've seen men, because when a man really loves you, I feel he wants to provide for you. I don't think that there is a man that loves a woman that's okay with her having 9 children and having to come on social media and show her tail. The men I know, not my stepfather, not my father, not my brothers, not my cousin, they would never let their women come on social media and emasculate them the way that Peach does her husband, not even for one red cent. Not for one red cent. I wish I had that, but I also realize everything comes with a price, right, Jazzy? You know, let's just be real. Nobody wants to be alone. I don't think God said it's not good for man to be alone, so He gave him a wife. But Paul said that it's better that we just concentrate on Jesus, but so that we won't burn, then we should marry. Okay, so Let's just keep it real. We have needs as adults, and then it's when two heads are better than one. But if you don't have the type of partner that's going to hold you down, then it's better to be alone. And if you are a woman who has experienced uh, BS with a man, then you're not going to be so quick to want to run into a relationship again. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like I said, I was in love, I was married. I wanted to be with that person forever, but it was not meant to be. Rest in peace to him. But, you know, it just was not meant to be. However, I'm not somebody who wants to rush into something again. You know, I'm not. And more so than that, I don't want to be dependent on somebody else for my well being because I don't want some man coming in thinking he could depend on me. You can't depend on Charity. Charity is busy raising the barbs. I got three teenagers over here. I don't have time to be listening to you about what happened at work. I don't feel like hearing you talk. I don't even want to hear you breathe. Get away from me. I don't want to share my closet space. I don't want to share my time. Right, Jazzy? You had to have something to offer. Not just something to offer at this stage of my life. I don't care what a man has to offer. Like I do like that the opportunities for male female conversations and having that male energy in your life where you're going out on dates. You know, I do like to spend my time with a man. I do because it's fun. It's fun dating, but I'm talking about a full blown relationship or being married right now. I've been there, done that, and it didn't end well. And I'm not closing myself off to that. I'm just in a state of healing and recovery at this time. So I know that if I desired that, it would be there for me when I'm ready. But I'm just not waiting on that. I want my own money because I like to shop. I like to do things for my daughters. I like to make sure every need is met. I don't want to have to look around, look up and look around, and I don't have what I need. I'm always thinking of ahead, thinking of ways to make money. That's why I am the mommy money getter. I am a mommy of five, and I'm getting to my money. You don't want three. That's right, Jazzy. I don't want an extra kid because let's be real. Again, married mothers, and I said this before, and a lot of married mothers got mad at me. I posted this on my Facebook like a year or two ago, and I lost some followers because one thing about married women, they, and not all, but some, let's say some, I'm not going to say they, because not all married women are like this. Some married women are just as tired of their husband as as single mother are. They want to be single. They want to get out of there. I know women who are dying to get away from their husbands. And I know some who are really in love too and who are really doing well. But the preponderance of married mothers, they're going through it. They're going through it. They have children that they're basically raising by themselves. And Peach knows that before she got on social media, she knows that. She said, Wood has always been a good father. Then why do you constantly want to put him out? If Wood is a good father, even if he cheats on you, if you know your husband is good for one thing, and that's helping you with your children, I would honestly, like I said, I probably wouldn't want to sleep with him. But if I have a man that's a provider and he's taking care of our kids, I don't care what he do. Go on with them because I don't want to be bothered with you no way. Go. Bye. Just make sure you here because when I got something to do, you need to be here to take care of your kids. But you come on social media and you clown that man like that. So you treat him like he's just like a big brother, like the older brother. Make sure you unlock the door when I leave and take out that hamburger and set it on the counter. Except when you get home after he babysat and washed clothes and scrubbed pissy chairs and wash walls and clean carpets after he did all that. Now you want him to put the babies to bed and service you. Like you're a big kid. Like get off of our backs, Peach Mcintyre. Peaches, 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 peaches. Like, for real? You, the whole time you've been on social media, you've been crying. Like I can go to your page and like every other week see you crying. See your face scrunched up like that video that you put up of your son, baby B or whatever his name is. I can see your face looking just like that. Your face contorted and distorted, and you crying in tears because you're either about to get evicted, Wood is cheating, you're tired of the kids, you feel like you just you want to run away. You had 9 kids. And even after you abandoned your family the last time, you still had 2 more kids. And you want people to feel sorry for you. Say, no, I don't want somebody to feel sorry for me. If you didn't want somebody to feel sorry for you, why would you come on social media and talk about it? And you're not just talking about it for clicks and views, because you can come on here and talk about anything. You have millions of people watching you. The last thing you need to do is come on here and cry. But no, you want to say, my husband is cheating on me, so people will start feeling sorry for you again. You come on here crying about your childhood trauma, so people will sympathize with you. Especially you start doing that. Like after this, after you came on here and you talked about black moms, what are you going to do? Guys, do me a favor if you're in here. Please give me a like and give me some hearts too. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up for me. After you get through dogging out single black mothers, what are you going to do? Guarantee you in 2 to 3 days, it's going to go back to Tracy and how Tracy was the worst mother known to man. Watch. She's going to break down and start talking about Tracy, or she found another rubber in the car. Today, she's living the best life ever. Her life is so happy. It's so happy with her husband and her children in the backyard. Because that's all that man wants to do is be up under you and a bunch of kids. You don't even want that for yourself. You don't even want all your time taken up and all your energy given to those 9 kids. You say it all the time. But who would want that? Like, I couldn't imagine a gaggle of kids just crying and throwing up and spitting up all over me, and one just whining, and one is running around. Nobody won't sit down there tearing up the house. I'm constantly cleaning, constantly buying, constantly cooking. What's up, Yo-Yo? Can you believe this lady, Peach? I don't even like talking about her, but I'm a single black mom, and you're not going to talk about single black mothers, not on my watch, and I don't have something to say about it. You are not going to use your platform to degrade single black mothers. Enough is enough. Single black mothers are the backbone of America. There are more households led by single black mothers or black women anyway. Most even married women are the breadwinners in their family in the black community. That's a fact. That's a fact. More black women are entering college than anybody. More black women are becoming entrepreneurs than anybody. That's anybody in the U.S. We are leading as college students. We are leading as entrepreneurs. We are the head of households. That means we are putting it down with no slouch. That is married black women. That is single black women. Black women are doing the doggone thing. Black women are not sitting around waiting on anybody to do anything for them. During the pandemic, we was already ready to go. When everybody else was shutting down their businesses, we were already selling plates on Facebook. We were selling bundles. We were selling, we were selling clothes. We were doing nails. We were teaching people classes. When everybody else was trying to figure it out, black women already had it together because we were already making wreaths and making leis for people's kids for college. We were already decorating for parties. We were already, we already had businesses, credit repair businesses, tax businesses. We were already doing that. Yes, Yo-Yo, we was in our bag. My sister is a hairstylist. Every time she turned around, somebody wanted their hair done. One of my sisters, she's a business consultant. She was helping people complete applications and all kinds of things because she was already a consultant. She already was helping people get grants for their businesses and things like that. So when people needed help, when business owners needed help tapping into different money and different things like that, she was able to assist them with that. There was so many black women who were able to just keep it going because they had already built social media followings and they were already business women, and they just slid right into position and was able to still keep it going legally. We can do hair, we can we can teach you social media, we can sell you a house, we can teach you how to do anything because that's what we are as black women. We are industrious. We have child care centers. I know women making millions as who own child care. They're nurses. Black women were already nurses. So now, okay, well, what you need me to come to another state for 30 days and come make me a quick 50K, I'm there. Baby, hold down the fort. Mama gonna make this money. The men are swapping roles with women because black women are doing it. Black women are not sitting around waiting on a welfare check, waiting on food stamps, waiting on a man to come watch kids. They got this. I don't need you to watch my kids because I got enough money to pay a daycare. I don't need to be married to you because I need help with my 9 kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't have 9 kids because I was in control of my reproductive system, and I only had the amount of kids that I could take care of if I had to take care of them on my own. Right, Jazzy. Everybody was making money. The woman out here working and the men sitting at home playing video games and babysitting their own children. Right. I wish I would sit for that. I would not sit still for that. I'm out working all day long, and when I come home, you sleep, and my baby's sitting on your chest. Anything could happen to my babies. One could fall or anything. And where are the other children? Because I know Phenomenal is not just in his bed like a good little kid. Phenomenal is running around that house. And I know doggone well Choice is up pacing because he loved to pace and walk about. He is not one of those high functioning autistic kids. He is a pacer. He likes to walk around. He likes to see things, and that's Choice's business. He could do that, but Choice still needs somebody up babysitting him and watching what he's doing, making sure Choice is not getting into stuff. They're all off in a room with the stripper pole closed off to the world. You got 1,000 other kids that need you to watch them. Are you paying attention? Yes, they taking care of each other. Gorgeous watching Phenomenal and Amazing and Wonderful. You saw her. She had the twins. She had put them to sleep. Peach don't know nothing but, okay, I got to go to Walmart or Target and fill up a basket with stuff we don't need. That's all Peach know. Oh, and I got to make sure Wood stay home with the kids. I got to make sure Wood he got the grill going. And I got to make sure the Peach Patch know every last step I make. And if they're not paying attention to nothing, I got to get on here and I got to start clowning them and insulting them. Hey, Regina, thank you. Thank you guys. Thank all of you guys for joining my live. I went back and forth with myself with this because, like I said, I do not like Peach McIntyre. I don't hate her. I don't hate anybody, but I do not like her. And this is why I stopped liking her. Because when I first came across her videos, I'm thinking she's a mom that's hustling and trying to make it happen for her children. And I said, okay, and Wood's helping. Okay, that's when I came in on a good portion of their lives. You know, I hadn't seen all the effery before or all the BS. I came in when they were having a good week, I guess. But it wasn't too long before she started carrying on and start bashing her mom. You start bashing your mom knowing doggone well that your husband had beat your mom over the head with a vacuum cleaner. And I used to wonder why her mom is so quiet. Peach would just be sitting there talking about she remembered this when her mom did this, and her mom would just be sitting there humble and just quiet. And Peach was really low key attacking her mom. And then she would eventually start railing on her family. I did this for my family. I did that for my family. And her sister would just be quiet and humble. She'd have Gorgeous over there, and she said, "Oh, I paid my sister $100 to take her down. I wouldn't have took her hair down for nothing, just so you could come back and say you did it." But her nephew, that nephew was smart. Her mama probably told him, "Don't you take a thing from Peach. Don't you take a thing from Peach. If she want me to do something and she pay me, I'll take it. Don't you take nothing from Peach." Because she had bought Wood's son a car, and I guess the car, I don't know what happened with the car, but she said his mother sold that car and got him a. Well, Peach wanted to buy her nephew a car. Her nephew wouldn't take a car from her. Now, you know, every teenager wants a car. Her sister wasn't really fooling with her either at that time. Like, you could just see, and I remember Peach would show videos with her entire family, and I'm like, these people don't like her. And she would have Wood there too, but Wood had been abusing her and cheating on her, leaving her at bus stops, had her walking in the rain with her children. And you come on social media and you want to clown single black mothers, and this man done had you walking in the rain with your children. This man has had you in labor and delivery with black eyes, and you want to clown a single black mother. I wish any man would have me ever with any marks across my face. He won't be breathing the same air as me again if he's breathing. That's why Wood baby mama sold the car she got and bought her child something else. Right. Right. They need to eat her up, Regina. They need to eat her up, because enough is enough. Hit my like button, y'all, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm the Mommy Honey Getter. Check my content out, guys. Check out my playlist. I help other mommies get to the bag too for the free. And if you need more help, okay, hit up my website. But I also give you content that you can use. I shop, I dine, I'm kicking with my kids. I'm having fun, some positive stuff. It's a way to be entertaining. It's a way to come on here and be for real and kick it with the girls on live and share your stories and share a sisterhood without coming on here putting people down. You don't ever have to do that. If you real about yours, hey, like I was saying, when I grew up, I knew some real deal Holyfield women. They didn't play that. They didn't play about their kids, and they didn't play about no man. They didn't wait around for nobody to give them anything. They didn't. Not because they couldn't get a man to do anything for them, or not because they wasn't deserving of it, but they just wasn't willing to wait around for it. Thanks, Regina, for the subscription. I appreciate that. What's up, Kendo? How you doing today? We're talking about this clown, this goofy, who wants to come on social media and put down single mothers. And like I said, no woman, I don't care if you're married, I don't care if you're single, I don't care if you don't have children, no woman, especially black woman, has a right to come and tear their own people down. We get that enough from everybody else. We are the least protected, the last to be respected. I'm not going for nobody doing that. We are all in this together. And if one is down, we need to pull each other up. You don't see women in other communities doing that. And she said, my biggest haters are black women. No, because we get tired of you. We got tired of you coming on here and tearing your mother down when your mother was there for every last child that was born. Your last babies, you on social media crying because you want somebody to feel sorry for you. And your mother comes to your rescue yet again just for you to come on social media and say you used your mama. That's why people don't like you. That's why half of the black women that watch you, excuse me, y'all, do not like you. Let me drink some water. People don't like you because you came on here, did nothing to you. People who were just trying to help you. Your brother was right there. You talking about, well, I paid him. You couldn't pay me enough. You could not pay me enough to take 9 kids and watch them. I'm not doing it. I have children of my own. I do not care. I'm not watching somebody else's bad children. Hey, keep pushing forward. Thank you for joining. I'm good. I'm great. Enjoying my Sunday. Yeah. You can pay me. I don't care if it's $1,000. I don't care if it's 2,000. Maybe I'm gonna watch them for a few hours, but I'm not watching nobody's kids for a whole weekend, and I have to be on at work on Monday. Peach, at the beginning, she was showing her mother. She said, "I don't never have to buy my children anything. My mother buys my children everything for Christmas. If I don't want to, I don't have to buy them anything." Her mother had presents for everybody, and she had money for the bigger kids. I mean, she had cooked a dinner. She had everything for everybody. And after Wood done beat her mama in her bastard in her head to the white meat, she still welcomed that man in her house. He could never, he could never, and Peach would never be welcome in my house after what, after she turned her back on her mother. She would never be welcome in my house. Getting on social media, I hate my mother. I hate my father. I hate them. They did not love me when I was growing up, crying and whining because you want people to feel sorry for you. All I wanted was a journal. I was a childhood slave. Who cries and complains more than you? You are a grown woman with 9 children. You don't have time to cry. Go sit on a therapist's couch, triggering all the everybody who watches you on social media because you want attention. Because it's not just for money. You come on here crying and whining and carrying on because you want attention. Right, just lies, Kendall. What's up, K Money? Thank you, ladies, for joining. I appreciate your support. And then then not only that, it's what made the game so cold. You got the movie because she was watching the movie Straw and said that the woman just wanted everybody to feel sorry for her. That woman was working 2 jobs, and that woman was doing her best to take care of her child. Not one time did she call a single soul. Not to the end of the movie did she call her mother, and her mother reminded her that your baby is gone. What do you mean you're trying to get the money to your daughter? She gone. And that's when she snapped back into reality and realized that her child was gone. The whole day had been a hallucination. And the whole entire day, all she was trying to do was get her daughter's lunch fees to the school. She didn't call her mom and ask to borrow money. She didn't stand out on the corner panhandling for the money. She didn't call the school making excuses and saying, "Can I have an extension? Can I just bring the money here? I don't have it today." She was just trying to go to work, get her paycheck, get it cash so she could take that money back to her child. She didn't ask a soul for anything. As a matter of fact, she was giving money out to somebody begging her for money. She didn't even have anything to give. Who says they never asked anybody to feel sorry for her? Peach, you didn't have to ask. You came on here crying. You came on here crying in tears. You talking about you didn't ask anybody to feel sorry for you. The whole time you went, the whole 9 months, you knew you didn't have anybody to watch your babies when you went into labor. You knew you didn't have anybody to watch all of those children except McKay. And he watched those kids all the time anyway. Yes, she lacks empathy for everybody else, Jazzy J. Absolutely right. And I don't even think it's just that she lacks empathy. She says she shows her emotions, please. Regina. She lied. She was just doing a call to action, asking for help to find them a place. Right. Entertainment you love. Right. I'm a mother with 9 kids. I would pay this and I would pay that. And the whole time you're going to Disneyland on all those black women. Those black women gave you money so you could get a place for your kids. And you're buying Universal season tickets. You're buying, oh, me and my children, we have season passes to everywhere. Almost everything. To the zoo, to Busch Gardens, Chuck E. Cheese, we have we have season passes everywhere. And what does she do? Laugh in the face of her supporters. Your babies haven't been anywhere. Teddy been more places than you have, than your children have. Right, delusional, Kendall. Right. Absolutely. She is delusional. You're sitting there spitting in your supporters' face. The same supporters who, when you didn't know where you were gonna go with those children, when they were gonna put you out, put you and all your stuff out of that too little apartment, because they didn't want you there. They didn't want your kind there. They weren't just putting you out because you couldn't pay your rent. You were only 2 weeks late, and they were evicting you because they did not want you there. And you got on social media and talking about it because, wait a minute, everybody's looking and laughing. I might as well make the best of it. Let me get on here and act like, put on a show like I always do. That's exactly what she's trying to do, is live out her childhood dreams, yo. Because she, in my mind, and the reason why she comes down on single black mothers and black women in general, she wants to assimilate with white women. She wants to feel like she's living the life of a kept white woman. She says it all the time. I live in a predominantly white neighborhood. Girl, them people don't pay you no mind. They probably don't even know who you are. They don't know you from a can of paint. They don't know who Peach Mcintyre is. And if you told them, they still would be like, what is that? What you have a page? Oh, what? They don't know who you are. She was a child that felt left out and said to herself, when I get older, when I have children, I'm not going to make my kids clean up. And then when I have a child, I'm going to name them everything I want to be. I'm going to call them wonderful and gorgeous and amazing and spectacular and rich with wisdom and logical, intelligence, everything I want to be and everything I wish I had. Yes, she does hate herself, Regina. She does. She was sitting there playing with dolls, and her mom said, "Get up and give me that doll," because she was probably sitting up with her big grown self, playing with Barbies, and she probably was 14 or 15, still peeing in the bed, playing with Barbie dolls. And her mom said, "Peach, if you don't get yourself up and go do something, most girls your age want a boyfriend or something." That's probably what she said, because she probably looked ridiculous sitting there fantasizing about how she wanted to be somebody different, how she wanted to be gorgeous, how she wanted to be amazing, and just spend all her days at Disney. Like, she is having a mental break, if you ask me, because who in the heck wants to take 9 kids to Disney? And you could tell they didn't have enough room at that last apartment. You could tell that she doesn't like being home with those kids, because she takes them to Disneyland so they don't be at that house, tearing up that house. Her mama probably knew she was into girls too and was scared she was going to start sleeping with one of Shut up, yo. Right, right, right. Because she wants to go to Disneyland, because if she stay at home, them kids gonna tear that house down. They haven't been there for what? How long have they been there? Have they been there 2 months and already they need to clean the carpet? You haven't been there 2 months and already you're renting a carpet shampooer to clean the carpet? Already those chairs look like you had went outside to the city dump and grabbed them chairs out of there. Peach has been pregnant, yeah, her whole life. She did. That's exactly what she did. She's experiencing arrested development because she talks like a child. She's, I am smart, because you guys, your elevator doesn't go all the way to the top. She speaks in phrases and she speaks in. You could tell that she's read somewhere and that she's wrote it down in those little journals again and again until she got it in her head, because she talks about the same thing. If you watched her for the last for if you watch her a good amount of time, she's never saying anything new. Everything is always the same. She speaks in practice and rehearsed speech. So, I really don't want to be on her head too much because I feel like I'm coming down on a mentally ill person. Absolutely, Kendall, she does. She has low self esteem, but the confidence she tries to portray comes from the supporter that feeds into her BS. Right, Kendall? Right. But that's why she takes those kids to the amusement park too. She wants to be there, and she drags them there because now that they have a big enough place, those Disney tickets are probably going to go to waste now, because now they want to be in the backyard all the time. Now they could drag those kids outside and put them on the jumper and put them on a movie and cook for them outside. They're tired of going to Disneyland. Wood is probably past tired of walking miles and miles through the parking lot, walking miles and miles, trying to keep up with Choice, trying to keep up with Amazing, trying to keep Phenomenon entertained, trying to keep, what's his name? I don't even know all those children's names. Feeding them this and that all day long. I couldn't do it. I remember I took my girls to Disneyland when they were like 5 or 3 and 5. I think we were in there for 30 minutes and I was ready to go home. The lines were too long. It was too hot. I don't think my children saw another amusement park for years. We didn't go to another amusement park until they were much older. I went, yes, her and her family's a liability. Right, right. I wouldn't take kids that little to amusement park. So that just shows you that her state of mind. I wouldn't put my brand new kids in a lazy river. I wouldn't even sludge through a lazy river with all those bodies in there. And you complain. This is the kind of stuff she does. My mom put me in her own bathwater, but you don't have a problem getting in the lazy river with thousands of other people. You didn't have a problem putting your brand new babies in a lazy river with water splashing all over them. You don't have a problem doing that at all. So, she's just a walking contradiction. You know, she didn't want, you know, Wood to go to his own brother's funeral because she wants to be chosen. She wants to be chosen for once. Who picks somebody's funeral? Who picks that time to decide you want to be chosen and you want to be first? Who does that? But she knows she has thousands of dollars at her disposal, and Wood doesn't have that on his own. And she knows that she could use him and keep him henpecked with that money. But when is he going to wake up? When is he going to wake up? Because, hi friend, thank you for joining. Thank you, Singh Raj. I see you. How are you doing today? We're just talking about Peach Mcintyre. I don't know if you know her. You probably don't, because most people don't. It's just a small section of the population who even knows her. She thinks she's so widely known. I think Peach needs help and that men do not want her. I'm sorry, she go to a lot of places, but she can't pay her rent. They need to take her kids away from her. She cannot take care of kids. Right, Verkeisha. Right. You know, she's just feeding them chocolates and fast food and taking them to Disney. And everybody said, oh, she's the best mom ever. Please. If she was a good mom, those chairs wouldn't look like they do. If she was a good mom, an eviction would have never even been a thing. If she was a good mother, she would have kept the rent paid up at that last place she was at, where they had more than enough rooms and they had enough space. If she was a good mother, she would bank her content. She would take a day out the week and bake some content so that she didn't have to be out of the home all week long. If she was a good mother, she would make sure her kids' hair is combed and she wouldn't bring them on social media with their hair matted on top of their scalp like that. If she was a good mother, she wouldn't have McKay out with them every weekend. She would allow him to go out and live the life of a normal teenager. If she was a good mother, she wouldn't leave her kids home from sun up to sundown so she could go to shopping at Target and so she could stay on live arguing with people all day. Wood never gave a Mother's Day gift, Valentine's gift, Christmas gift, pushing gift for them 9 kids. Never replaced her broken wedding ring, no flowers, just sad. Girl, Regina, that wedding ring was probably pawned a long time ago. Probably gone a long time ago. But she a stayer. That's right, Regina, she's a stayer. Where else she gonna go to? Let's just keep it real. Where else would you go? One man is going to come in there and take care of 9 kids that are not his. I mean, I know there are some good men out there somewhere. There's 8 billion people on this earth, and one of them has got to be another goofball like Wood that would come in there and cook, clean, service her, watch kids, wash walls, clean the carpets, and let her make a mockery out of them, talk bad about his mama, talk bad about his family that passed away, talk bad about his siblings. It's got to be at least one more of him willing to take her on. But good luck finding them. So in the meantime, of course she's going to try to make the best of it. I bet she don't even want Wood because the way she talks about him, the way she treats him, that is not the way you treat somebody that you love. She said, I love Wood. And all I want is for my marriage to work. I want this man. I really want my marriage to work. I love Wood. I just want it to work so bad. And I'm going to give it all I got. That's how she talks. Because that's the speech she likes to give. She is a kid in a woman body. She always showed money all the time. She is crazy. Okay, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for the kids. I don't feel sorry for those kids. A lot of people were saying that when she was getting evicted. Oh, I just feel sorry for the kids. I don't, like she said, I don't feel sorry for single mothers. I don't feel sorry for nobody's kids. And that's not saying that in a bad way either. I'm not saying that like, oh, forget those kids. No, I'm not saying it like that at all. I don't feel sorry for nobody. Life is life. Kids don't bother nobody. Kids are not innocent, but that's up to Peach to make sure her and her kids stay off the street, just like it's up to me, right? Like she says, single mothers have to get out there and get it. It's up to me to make sure that me and my kids are stable and in a home. I don't feel sorry for her kids. Her kids have it way better than a lot of kids. I don't see any reason for me to feel sorry for them. I'm sorry if somebody, if that feels bad to say, but I haven't seen any reason that those kids look like they're healthy. They look like they get more than enough to eat. They're going to Disneyland. I mean, they have a great mother and a great father. So no reason to feel sorry for them. And that's just what it is. So if I'm going to feel sorry for somebody, I'm going to feel sorry for a kid in a war-torn country or in a third world country that didn't ask to be here, that's out picking through trash to survive. If I'm going to feel sorry for a woman, it's going to be like the woman I saw yesterday that's walking down, young girl too, couldn't have been more than 30, and already talking to herself. Thought she was talking to her kid. She probably does have kids. Kind of like Janiyah had lost her mind. I've seen a lot of that. That's what I'm going to feel sorry for, because I know that I'm only in the position I am because of God. I don't even feel sorry for myself because I know that I'm a result of the choices that I make, not of what the things that have happened to me. I can't control what happens to me in this life. All I can control is the choices and the decisions that I make. Man, Kendall, I don't think she's obsessed with Wood. I think she's just obsessed with herself. I don't even think she's, you know, I don't think she I don't think she even loves Wood like that. I think he's just there. I feel like with Pete, she has gotten herself into a life that I think it was probably for the whole time she's known him up until she got on social media, she was trying to get Wood. She was trying to get Wood to love her. She was trying to get him to stay home, and he always cheated on her. He always abused her. He always went somewhere else with another woman. She's admitted that he's left her for other women. When she had McKay, she says he left her and was with another woman with 5 kids. So he didn't even want her. She was just always his old standby. But now that she has money, and now that she's making millions of dollars, now I want to get married. Now I want to stay home with you. Now I want to be with you. So now, okay, I got you, but I know if at any time I go broke, I know you're not staying. I know you're not going to stick around. So I got to keep the money. And I think that's why when she had Phenomenal, remember when she had Phenomenal and she was putting him out and all that stuff, and when she was selling his jewelry, she did that because they didn't have any money. She had already sold her truck, and he wasn't coming off his truck. They needed that truck. She already gave back her van. Remember, she ended up giving that van back. So they sold the jewelry because they needed the money. And she was mad at everybody. She was mad at her mother. Every time she's low on dough, whenever she's low on dough, then that means that either Wood has to pay for it, or her mother has to pay for it, or the Peach Patch has to pay for it. Some way she's gonna come on social media, start ranting and raving, start coming up with all this outlandish uh, content to get people riled up. She's gonna rage bait. She's gonna do whatever, because if she loved Wood, then she wouldn't be showing off Wood's manhood for the world to see. She actually brought us some balls, some little Kegel balls. I mean, I just want to throw up. Not in my mouth. I want to throw up. I wanted to hurl all over myself. Like, with no control. I could not believe she would do something that gross. That's how she is. She's the type of person, like I said, I think I said this the other night. She's uh like a flasher, somebody that will flash you because they get turned on when you go ew, when they gross you out. That's how she is. She likes to gross people out by showing them her stomach hanging to her knees. She likes to gross people out by showing them uh, a, a nasty pad with yogurt on it, or with her menses on it. She likes to do stuff like that. She likes to show her baby's breastfeeding so everybody can be like, ugh, that is so nasty. The more you do that, the more you respond to her like that, her engagement does go up and she does make money, but the more it makes her feel like she's like a little imp laughing in the corner, reading our comments. She's probably listening to this like, look at him talking about me, because she's a kid that always felt left out, that always felt like nobody likes me, nobody loves me. When she says that, I believe it. That part, I believe it. And since I seen how Rasta acts, I believe all the stuff that she said, but I don't believe that Rasta had bad intentions for Peach. I just believe that Rasta probably was, like a lot of moms, misguided, had well intentions, because they said that Rasta kept a clean house and always kept her kids clean. But no, was she the perfect mother? No. But do I think that she just intentionally abused Peach or intentionally was a bad mother to Peach? I don't think that. But do I think she was June Cleaver? Absolutely not. But Peach isn't either. Peach also talks about how dirty she was, and she admitted that she used to be very dirty, and everybody used to call her dirty, and now she's not dirty anymore. So she has a lot of self-esteem issues, and she has a lot of things that she's going through, and now she wants to put that on everybody else. She's not obsessed with Wood Kendall. She's trying to pay him back for all the times he hurt her, all the times that he walked away from her. And it hasn't been that long ago. It hasn't been that long ago. She saw with her own eyes that he said to her hair braider, I want you now. If I saw my husband after I bought him a car, took him on trips, gave him hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I'm working hard to keep myself together, if I saw my husband work that, I would probably lose my mind. I would probably lose my mind. And that's, I think I touched on this earlier in this live. TD Jakes has a sermon about that, about how Jacob and Rachel, how he didn't want her sister, and how when somebody doesn't want you, that can make you lose your mind. Like, it was a time that Peach loved Wood so much, she said that she would trade her life for his. She would want him to raise the kids because she couldn't see herself living the life without him. There was a time where she was buying him a car and was willing to catch the bus. There was a time when she was his side chick. So that's, she has been wanting him to see her. And like she said, I love seeing my husband watching them watching a movie and wanting to uh, stay home with his family. That means so much to me. That's all she's ever wanted, was for Wood to finally see her and to finally love her. She's been waiting on that her entire life. And she's been hating the world because the one man that she's wanted, the one man that she claims that all her children are from, that one man, she could never get to really love her. And he still doesn't love her. He told another woman just a couple of years ago, I want you now. I want you now. Do you understand what that means? I want you. I don't want the woman that's laying next to me. I don't want her. I want you. Let me read these comments. Yeah, she got to convince herself that she's clean, Regina. Let me tell you, we know they don't got insurance on them cars. That bad baby would be in flames. Right, entertainment you love. Rasa was a hood chick. I don't think she was that bad. You know what? Like I said, mamas got to do what they got to do. Mothers got to. I remember I used to have to work 16-hour shifts. I used to work a 56-hour shift where I had to leave my kids with my mom and my dad for a weekend. I would go to work, or sometimes I would work overtime. But I was home with my children for almost 5 days out the week too. But I had to go do what I had to do. I had to take care of them. If I wasn't feeding them, then it was, you let us go hungry. If I didn't have money, then it would have been, we didn't have lights and gas. So it's like when you're a mom, if you're in a two-parent household or not, it's like, what do you want? You want those prom dresses? You want those bundles in your hair, or you want me? Which one do you want? Because I can't do both. I can't be two places in one time. We're not rich. And even if we were, I love you and you're my child, but you don't get to monopolize my time. Not like that, you know. So I'm sure Peach's mother said to herself, you know what, my child is good. She was my grandma. It could have been that she had you. Then you said, well, she left me outside while she had a threesome. What was she supposed to do? Have you in the house while she had it? Like, come on, Peach. Like, your kids are right there, and you got a pole. You got a stripper pole in your bedroom. Your kids could literally go on YouTube right now and hear you talking about things that no child should hear their parent talking about. Yep. Yeah, somebody did say that Wood has a baby. That's why she's so mad at single mother, because she don't compare. She can't compete where she don't compare. Right. She wants to be mad at the world because she stayed with somebody that didn't want her. She could have left him a long time ago. Yes, those kids are taunted at school, Peachy King. Kids tease you for less than that. He got he got that little boy, a little girl, and they all 2 years old, and it sounds like it's a new one that might be about to give birth. Probably so, Yo-Yo. That's probably why he got snipped. That's the real reason. Because now she's talking about He ain't never gonna see your kids. So that's why we got the projector outside. Look, we got the projector outside. We got the grill. I got the lobster. I got I got ribs. I got I got everything that you need at this house. I got the pole. If you want to start drinking again, just a little bit, take a sippy sip, put the rest away because we can't have you back like you was with. But you got to stay home. You're not going out there taking care of nobody else's kids. Wood has other children and grandchildren. Yes, he does. Yep, Peachy King, exactly. She probably doing everything she can. That's why she's out buying boxers, buying t-shirts. That's why she's out loading him up with stuff. Stuff he probably don't even need, stuff he probably don't even care about because she's trying to keep him home to prevent him from running off to that single mother, that baby he got, because she's been saying it little by little. Why would you have a baby by somebody that's already married? That married man is not going to leave his wife. You don't know what Wood would do. Well, yes, she do know what Wood would do because Wood has done it time and time and again. He has left you before. You're gonna still be there. He's gonna come back to you. You'll be waiting with open arms. If he really wants to, he will leave you. He's already done it. If Wood really wants to, he would cheat on you. He's already done it. And the moment you don't have money, the moment you really don't have money, you're gonna see. Yes, she admits that she was his side chick for years. She does admit that. And I feel like he's scared of what Peach might do to him. That's another thing too. Because he said that if you go back into about January when she was carrying on about him wanting to attend his family's funerals, she was showing text messages and he said, I feel like you're going to do something bad to me. And she was like, no, why would you want to be here? So he feels like if he really gets the cojones to leave, she's going to do something untoward to him. Yes, Regina, she's working hard to keep him home. Right. That's exactly why she's got the Father's Day gifts. Same way you get him, you will lose him, and she's losing him right. Right, yo-yo. That's exactly what's going to happen. Because you can't keep on putting your mouth on people. You can't keep coming on social media with your disgusting rhetoric and saying things that hurt people. I don't care how hurt you are, and I don't care how real you think you're keeping it. And then it just really grinds my gears to see some people agreeing with that. Well, she's just keeping it real. She is telling the truth. She said, because I had to tell myself. Well, say that about yourself. Say to your audience, well, I remember when I was a single mother and I wanted people to feel sorry for me, but I had to change my outlook on life and I had to do what I had to do. And you really didn't do that. You just got on social media and start complaining and want people to feel sorry for you. And it just so happens that you found an audience that could relate to you. You found an audience that was entertained by you and that felt sorry for you. The story is all coming out. She's still the side chick. He don't want her. They have too many kids together for him to leave. He's stuck in a bind with Nate. Right. Right. I'm in a bind, Nate. Right. Right. Because if he leave, it's going to be child support. And it's not going to only be child support. It's going to be hell has no fury like a peach scorned. She's not going to let that man rest. She's not going to let him rest. But I believe you guys. I'm not going to, I was like, oh, he don't have another child. But I believe he does because he wouldn't have had, if it was up to Peach, Wood would have never got a vasectomy. He didn't before. And the 9 children is not the only times Peach says she's been pregnant. Peach says she's had those 9 children and she's been pregnant at least another time with another set of twins. And then she suffered a miscarriage or something a time or two before that. So she's been pregnant over a dozen times, at least a dozen times. And that's out of her own mouth. So, and she said she wanted to have 10 or 12 kids. Will got to be tired of catering to her. He is older than her. His youth is going down the drain. Right, Regina. Exactly. Exactly. Because He's a man. And I don't care how many kids he is still a man. Just like a woman is a woman. And a man, yes, he could love his kids and he could love his wife and he could want to help out, but a man is still a man. And that's just, to me, it's just unnatural for a man to be that handpacked, if you ask me. And I know a lot of people say, well, he's not helping doing anything else. Well, he should be helping do something. He should be helping with his kids. And if she's going to be gone all day doing her content low key, then he should be home. But honestly, I feel like maybe he should be outside at home working some. And I feel like if she was as smart as she says she is, okay, then she should be able to be more proactive and getting her content done in a day or two. I wouldn't be on social media. Maybe if I was going live, I would come on here and go live for an hour or two. Hey, Ann Williams, what's good? You just got out of church. Thanks for joining. I'm talking about Peach McIntyre going at women, not women, but going after single black mothers. She loves to go after black women, and black women are her main audience. They are her core audience. And I think that only a hit dog will holler. So I'm that hit dog hollering because I am a single black mother. But I also feel like much more than that, I feel like she's being irresponsible and you don't know who might watch her video. I don't think that many people outside of black women watches her videos anyway, but I feel like you're being irresponsible and I feel like your rhetoric is hurting women who look like me and that are supporting you, that are paying for your sham classes, because let's be real, your classes has not helped a soul become a millionaire on social media. Your classes have not helped anybody do anything. But you got people writing spells, because that's what you talk about is spell work, because that's what you're really doing. Because you don't believe in God. Let's keep that real. You just said in your household, you come first, then your husband, then your kids. And you told people if God come first in your household, that's on you. You don't believe in God. So you're not teaching people how to um, set goals and put their hard work into action and have faith in God. You're not teaching people about that. But when you want to connect with your audience, when you want, and I got 21 people in here, and I know all of you haven't been in here the whole time. So do me a favor and hit my like button. Go ahead and hit that like button. And I don't even, that's another reason. And my God says don't hate anybody, but I think that's the number one reason. When she came on here and cursed God, when she came on here and started talking about God, don't you know that without God, you wouldn't have anything that you have? And he's a loving God, and he gives grace, and he has mercy for you because God, he would take the longest time before he just takes his hands off of you. He's good about doing that because he wants to show you something, Peach. And that's the message I want to give to you. You better stop cursing God and you better stop coming on social media hurting his children and saying stuff like that because black women have been through so much. If you look at the news, if you just read the different stories, they have all kinds of content creators making content just on the black women who are losing their lives every day to intimate partner violence. You can see them on these criminal channels, and they can make the content every single day. A mother of 10 who has just as many children as you do, who was married to somebody just like you are. All her children were with that man just like you are, had her life taken by her husband. You are lucky to be in the position that you are in, and you need to take your mouth off of God's people. That's the reason why I don't fool with teaching. They don't believe in God. I don't want to be bothered. Right? He has mercy for her because of them children. Right? That's why God was not on her list of who comes first in her life. Right? She better humble herself and ask God to forgive her because if it wasn't for God, she wouldn't be here. If it wasn't Him, right? In. Oh, my mic went out. It's low. Oh, let me see if I can turn it on. Let me see. Let me see. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, we back? Okay, cool. Yeah, you coming on here blaspheming God and cursing God? Come on, even if you don't believe, even if you don't love God, there's a lot of people who believe in him who do. There's a lot of people that come across your content who do, and you're hurting them when you speak against their God. Because for me, as for me and my household, we're going to praise God, and I'm going to always talk about God. And I might come on here and do this and do that and the third, but one thing you're going to always see me do is uplift him and remind everybody that I've been through so much, and without him, I would not be here today. That's why I was always remiss to even come on here and talk about Peach, because like it or not, Peach is also his child, and he also doesn't want to see her hurting. And he, even though she has cursed him, even though she has said he does not come first, he still wants her to be saved just as much as he wants me to be saved. That's the kind of God I serve. I don't serve a hateful God. He wants all his children to be in his fold. He wants us all to be saved. So I don't know who hurt her at church, and I don't know why she is so spiteful towards God. All I can say is this: the enemy has her. The enemy has control of her, and I'm not sure of her blessings if she's here because of God or not. Because the enemy, he will pull the wool over your eyes too. As all blessings don't come from God. God says he reigns on the just and the unjust. And he says, don't look at people like Peach McIntyre as a barometer for how you should live your life, because you're going to be saved if you do what's right. The person that's doing what's wrong, they may not be saved. So she might look like she's winning on social media. She may look like she's winning, but at the end of the day, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose your soul? Hi, Karen. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about Peaches and her disdain for single black mothers. She watched Tyler Perry's movie Straw. If you guys haven't seen that movie Straw, I like I said in this live earlier, I was prepared to just get on social media and comfort Tyler like I always do, because I have a love-hate relationship with Tyler Perry. I feel like Tyler should get more more seasoned and more professional writers to help him with his content. I feel like he's rich and he's made a lot of money, and all of his actors say that he pays them well. So I guess he has a shoestring budget for hair and makeup, and I guess he kind of slacks on the sets and all of that, but he pays his his actors good. And then also, why I love Tyler Perry is because he's given work, like Sinbad was in this movie, Glenn Turman was in this movie, Sherry Shepherd. I haven't seen her in a movie in a while. And Taraji, she's a great actress, but Taraji, she says she's not getting paid the way she should get paid. And I haven't seen Taraji in a lot since she was in The Color Purple, but that was 2 years ago. We haven't seen her in anything really since. So I like that black actors are getting work through Tyler, and I like that they're getting paid what they deserve because they're working for Tyler. I do like that part, but I do think that he should get have others helping him with the directing and with the writing, because I think that as his core audience, I think that he should respect us a little bit more and give us a little bit more quality productions. But we don't really have much outside of Tyler, so we're gonna watch his stuff, right? We're gonna watch his movies. But I am also reticent to watch his movies because of movies like Straw. And I'm glad it wasn't the same, oh, woman is with a man who dolls around and she gets with another man and he comes to save her. I'm glad that he showed a different side for black women to resonate with, because so many women, whether they're single, whether they're married, whether they have children, whether they don't have any children, they could relate to what Janiyah was going through. I can't tell you, at my age, I hear so many women saying, I could have lost my mind. I almost lost my mind. I hear gospel songs like, if you listen to Marvin Sapp, when he's singing Never Would Have Made It, he said, I could have lost my mind a long time ago. And that's what he's saying. I never would have made it without you. I never would have been here without you. So for her to get on here and say that's what the movie was about, a black woman wanting people to feel sorry for her, a single black mom who wants, they want, all they want is people to feel sorry for them. That was your plight. You wanted everybody to feel sorry for you. Remember when your house burnt down, Peach? Remember when your house burnt down, Peach, and you got on the news and people sent money to a GoFundMe for you and your family because you didn't have renter's insurance probably and you lost everything. Remember that time when you got on the news because you wanted people to feel sorry for you and your children because you lost everything to a fire? Do you remember that? Do you remember that? She said if Gorgeous chose to be like her, she would support her. If the boys chose to be like Wood, she would do the same. Even if they are polygamous, she would support them. I'm not surprised, Regina. I'm watching it tonight once I can settle down, but my son gave me a little rundown, so I'm interested. Yeah, the ending was, you know, I gave a lot of it away, but you came in probably near the end, so. But it is a little twist at the end, Kendall. Taraji refused to do any rituals to move up. They are doing her so dirty. Right, Peachy? I meant, okay. Right. So, yeah, she's gonna have her comeuppance at some point. And she said, "Oh, you guys are wishing bad on me. You're just wishing for bad to happen to me. Nobody's wishing bad on you. But if you've been through the school of life, you already know what goes up must come down because that's just the law. That's just the law. You're gonna go through seasons, and I hope you saved up. I hope you're saving some of your money this time because you already done got rid of your kids' savings and you already done wiped out every little bit that you had the last time before the last eviction. So I hope you did pay up your rent and I hope that you're really not gambling and I hope that you are saving up because again, you're up now. You're up now, but look at Diddy. Look at Bill Cosby. Look at all these people that were millionaires. It's more people who were up and came down than there are people who made money and were able to maintain their wealth, especially someone like you who doesn't have good business acumen and in who is investing in the stock market or buying property and things of that nature. You wear all your money on your back and you put all your money in your belly. Every last dime that you make goes to buying clothes and eating. So I hope you have some money set to the side because you don't know what could happen. You don't know what could happen. We're all just one bad circumstance away from being in a place we don't want to be in. And no, I don't want that for you. But you're going to bring that to yourself because not that God has to humble you, but God is going to do what he needs to do to show everybody what he wants them to see. I know because he's done it with me. You never would have been able to tell me that I would be retired before 50 years old because I literally cannot work because of my medical conditions. You never would have told me that in my 30s. You never would have told me that. I thought I had it all under control. I thought as long as I was gainfully employed, as long as I had my career, and even my career, even if I still worked there. So I'm glad God used what he had to use to get me out of there. But even there, this is an institution that has been in existence for decades before I even worked there. My coworkers just always said one thing we know for sure is we have job security. The job that was supposed to be uh, solidified as long as we wanted to work it, the job that we were supposed to be able to work till we were ready to retire is the government is shutting down. Anything can happen at any time. And Peach knows that and better than anybody. She's been winning and losing all her life. She knows what that's like. So what are you going to do if that happens to you? I hope you saved up. Peach wants everything to be about her and her kids, but the world doesn't just revolve around her. That's why I don't fool with Peach. As I can say, is Lord Jesus help her to believe, right, Ann? Right, right. That's all we can do is really pray for her because, you know, she's got this rhythm going where it's okay. I'll act like I'm cool and I'll simmer down for a while and the peach patch will get bored with me. And then I'll come out here and I'll say wood is cheating. And then I'll get them riled up about that. But if that's not getting me the kind of attention I want, because realize it's all about attention with her first and foremost. The money is secondary. Peach doesn't really even care about money. She, according to her, she has gambled away $80,000 at one point. Peach, as soon as she gets the money, she's spending it. She doesn't even like looking at it in her bank account and watching it grow like most normal people. Most normal people, when they come up on racks, they want to just watch it sit in their account and gain some interest for a bit. They're not trying to spend it. Hello, things worth knowing. Thank you for joining. Right, right, Peachy King. We have to stop blaming Peach and blame her enablers because if she got no motion, she wouldn't do half the things she does. That's right. But one time, the only way that she's gonna be stopped is if she's and she's gonna do this. This is exactly what's gonna happen. She's going to fall on her own sword because one thing she's gonna do is keep up in the ante. And if you look at her content, she's doing that more and more. She's doing that more and more. 1 minute, she seems like she's got some sense and like she's just doing the mommy content, spending time with her kids at Disney World or, yeah, Disney World, shopping at Target, shopping at Walmart, restocking her pantry, and then next thing you know, bam. And she has to come out with more and more salacious content. So what's going to end up happening is she's going to push that envelope too far and she's going to end her own self. She's going to end her own social media network. It's not even going to be because, and that's the only way that peach patchers are going to stop seeing her because they're not going to do it on their own. They're too addicted to that negativity. But everything must come to an end. Like I know, like Real Housewives of Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop. I stopped watching that stuff because I grew up and I don't like it anymore. So, but before the peach patchers grow up, because it's like a train wreck. You don't want to see it, you don't want to watch it, but you're constantly looking. Because I blocked her, but I still see her, I still see somebody else talking about her. And because I watched that movie Straw and because I did a review on it a couple of days ago, then she's going to be in my algorithm because she's got her ear to the streets. She sees, and this is the kind of person she is. She sees how many people love the movie. She sees how many people uh, that story resonated with. She sees how many people connected with it. And what does she do? She comes and pisses on it. I I see everybody talking about that movie, talking about how much they like that movie, but I hated it. I hate a single mother who uh, wants everybody to feel sorry for them, and that had absolutely nothing to do with the movie. Absolutely nothing to do with it. Hello, things worth knowing. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe to my channel if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, and also please hit that thumbs up if you haven't already done that. I appreciate you all for joining. Right, she's a controversy queen, just like she was out there putting her life at risk when she was with pregnant with those twins, and then she said that she was having some type of issue at the end, and that's why those babies had to go to the NICU. They were not gaining weight, and she was also having something going on with her placenta, which she would have known if she had insurance and if she had been getting proper prenatal care. She probably would have known it long before that they were actually in trouble. So her children had to stay in a hospital an extra month because she was out there carrying on during the hurricane and upsetting people at that time. And that's what she does. When Donald Trump came in office, I'm glad Trump is coming into office. And she knew that that would get people riled up. She knew that that would get people riled up and feeling some type of way. She is the type of person that is always going to have an opposite opinion than everyone else. Right, entertainment you love, just to be controversial, just to be anti. Let me be the anti. And who else is anti? Who else is the who else is the opposite? Instead of being good, they're evil. Who else is anti establishment, anti authority, anti Christ? I'm going to be anti everything because I'm going to make sure that the world knows about the bad side of life. I can't agree that I was once like Jania and I almost lost my mind and my family had to come peel me off the floor. Remember when Ed and Drea, when they got sick of her and they finally came online and said, you wasn't saying that when we had to come peel you off the floor because mama called us and told us to come help you because you wanted to end it all because you found out Wood wanted to be with Barbie do hair. Remember that, Peach? So you know what it's like to want to to feel like you losing your grip. You know exactly what that's like because you have lost your grip plenty of times just crying on social media. Who comes on social media just crying? I love my husband and I just want my husband. My mama, your mama, you went through that at 8, 9 years old. You are now almost 40 years old. You are a middle-aged woman crying about the journal that your mama didn't get you. We all have childhood trauma. Either our parents were too good to us and gave us everything, never gave us attention because they were out working to get us everything we wanted, or our parents were horrible. We all got a story to tell. Right, the devil entertainment you love. Right, exactly. Because even if your mom did do all that stuff, I know people who they have mothers who are crackheads, mothers who did leave them without anything to eat. And don't you know they love their mother like no other? And they have every right not to want to have anything to do with their moms. And they sometimes sometimes if their mother was that bad, they don't have anything to do with them, but they won't speak ill of them and they won't get on social media and talk about them like a dog, even though their mother was a bad person. But her mother was so bad. She hurt her mother so much. I hate my mother. I can't stand my mother. I hate my mother. But when you were in labor and delivery, having a C-section, you told your husband to go take them children to the mother that you hate. I don't want my kids around anybody that I hate. I don't hate anybody anyway. But if I hated somebody, the last thing they're going to do is have the opportunity to be around my world's precious possession, my world's greatest possession. They are not going to be around my children if I hate them. If they were that bad to me as a child, they will never get the opportunity. But no, what does Peach do? She says she gave paid her mother $4,000 to keep her children, 7 children, and at the time, phenotype was only what 2 or 3 weeks old. So you left your brand new baby with your mama while you and Woodrow went to Houston. I remember when you did that. You left your mom used to come pick up them kids all the time. And you said, she never spends time with my kids. Like, you don't like spending time with your kids. Anytime you had to spend more than a week, like it's summertime now and those kids are not at school, watch Peach in about a week or two. She's doing all this backyard movie nights and all that. Give it a good week or two. Peach is going to want to go to a spa for the weekend. She just need to get away. She feels like, remember when she did that? I just feel like I need to get away. I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I need a break. And my husband is giving me a break. You know exactly what Jania was feeling like in that movie, Straw. You know when you felt like it was the last straw. You couldn't handle it no more. We seen you do it. Right things worth knowing. She's playing with her life. She needs to get that goiter check. Yes. She going to put them in daycare if she can afford it. Entertainment you love, if she can afford it, because those babies aren't in. I don't believe those babies are in daycare anymore. I think she did that for a month or two, but she said she was paying like what $1,700 a week for that. She can't afford that. She had sold all those classes and stuff like that, so she was up, but she can't afford that. She's not making the kind of money that she would like everybody to believe that she's making. And the reason why she's not making it the way that she needs to make it is because she's not a smart content creator. She doesn't uh, bank her content so that she has time to do other things. She doesn't invest her money wisely. She doesn't have a structure where she can have people come buy videos for her. She has them only for a limited time. She doesn't have a good business acumen, so she's not making the kind of money that she should make. You're in the store spending money instead of making money. All the clothes that you buy your kids, all the times that you go to Target and Walmart, it should be paid for with affiliate marketing. Every time you show something, there should be a link on your page. That's game, guys. If you're a content creator and you're watching this, sign up with impact.com, sign up with creators.walmart.com and Target. Sign up with all of the stores you love and everything that's available. If you have enough followers on TikTok, sign up for TikTok Shop because you don't have to wait until until a product goes viral. You can actually make a product go viral on your own. Peach sold out. She has to do these ridiculous stunts. Compare her to some of the others. They are all getting down the same way, shaved heads and all, in order to keep making the money. Right. Some of them are. Some of them are. You know what? Ain't no telling. I think she did have a C-section because she had one before, so she had to have another C-section. Who knows? But she wasn't moving like that because somebody said they had a video of her. They saw her out and they said she could barely walk. They said she could barely walk. Remember when she had those babies, she got up right out that bed and got back to it like nothing, like it was nothing. And they said she could barely walk. She was just dragging like not even a dog would do it. Not even a dog would do it. Not even a single black mom would get right out of her hospital bed and drag herself around like that. Not even a single black mom. We would be at least we have enough decency to convalesce and enjoy our children at home. Not even as a single black mom do I have to get up and hustle that hard. I got money, Peach. I got money. I got thousands stacked up because I've earned it. And I don't have to get on, not even a single black mom has to get on here and carry on and act a fool like that and talk about their family, whether they have a good relationship with their mother or not, whether they have a good relationship with their child's father or their husband or not. We don't have to get on here and do all that carrying on. And we're just as honest and we keep it just as real and we have stories to tell just like you, but we don't have to, okay? Because we're not hard up for attention and because we're not doing everything we can to make a dollar. We're not hard up for money. Our kids still go places. You're not the only one taking your kid to Disneyland. Our kids don't want to be at Disneyland all week. My kids would never. They would like, Mom, are you serious? Are you serious? Please, get them kids a passport. Take them somewhere for real. She only selling stuff when she broke. Well, what she does is, Jazzy, gets the when she gets in the algorithm real good and she sees that she's starting to get a new wave of followers, what she does is she brings out those scam guides, those e-guides that look like she wrote them with a Crayola and um, all that BS, that old information from when she first got on the internet from 4 or 5 years ago because we know she hasn't updated anything and she stopped talking about she'll help you get on Facebook because she's not even earning on Facebook anymore. She said that she's demonetized on Facebook. But you're such a good content creator. If you look at uh, mommy bloggers like Melanie Renee K, if you look at content creators like Just Be Cooking, if you look at other content creators who even that do the same type of content that Peach does. They have brand deals. They do affiliate marketing. They're out doing. They do consulting. So Peach is just lazy. The easiest way for her to make money is for her to say, "I can teach you how to make the kind of money I make." And people see her shopping every day at Walmart and Target. I don't see that as, I don't want to shop at Walmart and Target. I don't want to get your I don't want to learn how to make content so I can shop at Walmart and Target. I already shop at Walmart and Target. Show me how I can get a real bag. Show me how I can buy the houses, how I can buy the Benzes. Show me how I can show me how I can get my content to pay for my shopping trips to Walmart and Target, where I can basically get this stuff for free, where it's not coming out of my pocket. Show me how when I take my family to Disney, it's paid for. Everything is all inclusive. The hotel, the parks, the food. Show me how I could be that type of content creator where I get $40,000 for one post, where I can do a brand deal and I can get $40,000 or $50,000 to make a few posts and promote Ford, and um, I promote. You were driving a Wagoneer for 2 months. I don't know if you rented it or what. I don't know if you still have it. I don't think you do. But there's content creators that get paid to promote that. Just for showing that in their content, guess what? They got a $50,000 check. I know people who do that. Peach, you was driving that Wagoneer and trying to show everybody that you're in a Wagoneer that was not enough space for you and your kids, by the way. You're out showing your peach patchers how you go get all your cars from a used car lot. Is that the kind of content creator you guys want to be? Let me know. But my money getters that want to get to the bag, please put a money bag in the chat, because we don't. I'm the mommy money getter. I do not want to shop at Walmart and Target just to be shopping there and not getting paid for doing it. I do it for a reason. I'm doing it for a reason. I don't want the Kurt Geiger bags. I like them. I do have some bags, but I don't want the content that's only going to get me a kg bag. A kg bag, you can go to Nordstrom Rack and get it for $100. I don't want that. I want the bags that cost thousands of dollars. I want the Chanel. I want the Louis. I want the Mercedes. I don't want to rent a Wagoneer for a couple of months and have to give it back. I don't want to. I don't want to have to voluntarily get my van repossessed and not have enough room for my kids, and now I have to drive the used car that I got my son. I don't want to be that kind of content creator. I don't want to be the kind of content creator that gets evicted every other month. That's not the kind of content creator I want to be. And so, why would I buy your why would I buy your scam guides so I could be a content creator that gets evicted, that can only shop at Walmart and Target, that can only buy food, and that can only go to Disneyland on my own dime? No, show me how I can get Disney to pay for this. Show me how I can get a trip to Hawaii with me and my barbs, because we want to go here and there for the summer. Show me what I got to do to get those type of brand deals. Because then I might get on here and act a fool if I can get those kind of brand deals. But you guys haven't left the state of Florida. And every time you go to Disneyland, you swiping your own credit card. You're using your own money. You had to pay 13K you had to pay for your season passes. I wish I would. I wish I would have millions of followers, all eyes on me, going to Disneyland week after week and showing people that I'm going to Disneyland like it's the best thing in the world, and I'm not getting paid a dime to do it. And I have millions of people. Do you know how many people went out and bought a Kurt Geiger bag because they saw Peach silly self with one? Do you know how many people thought to themselves, you know what? I think I'm going to take my kids to Disneyland, just because the power of suggestion, just because they see Peach at Disneyland all the time. Oh, you know what? It's spring break. Me and the kids might as well go to Disneyland. We might as well. You know what I'm saying? But your elevator goes all the way to the top. But you're the, what does she say? She's a social media godmother. But you're paying for everything. You think Beyonce pays for all that Gucci she's wearing? You think those costumes that Beyonce is wearing on stage, she's paid for? Beyonce doesn't pay for anything. When Beyonce has on Telfar, Beyonce isn't paying for that. Beyonce isn't paying for that Gucci you see her in. When you see Kim K, when you see her in a Tesla truck, Elon gave her that truck. When anytime you see Kim K go on social media, anytime you see her wear anything, she's getting paid for it. That's why her sister made her own cosmetic line. Because I'm on here, people dogging me out, people talking about me. You better come buy something from me. I'm going to come on here looking good. And I'm going to show you. If you want to look good like me, if you want the men to ogle you like they ogle me, wear my lipstick. You want to talk about how I got lip injections? Okay, now wear my lipstick. Peach, how are you showing your content creators how they can do that, or are you just telling them how they can get monetized on YouTube? That's not even the real bag, getting monetized on YouTube. That's limiting them. My kids went to Disney. They don't want to go no more. You know what? My kids are tired of amusement parks. They just want to travel now. But mommy has to get on the plane. What's going to probably end up happening is I'm going to send them with another family member before I get on the plane. But I promise them we'll get on the plane. I promise them I have I have the money, and I promise them we will get on the plane. So when you guys see me on the plane, my knees shaking, and I'm scared because I hate heights. That's the only thing. Otherwise, we would go out of town a lot more. We would get on a plane a lot more because they definitely want to start traveling. They're older now. They're beyond Disneyland. They like that too. They like that stuff too, but they like being able to be a little bit more adventurous. They like getting out of town, and I do as well. Right? I can imagine. Like I would be so tired. Like it's like they're walking, like they're on a long, adventurous trek. Like it's like they're just hiking through the mountains to get through Disney. And every time you see them, they're just like walking. Kids are sweating. Wood look like he just miserable. McKay pushing strollers. They got strollers. They got wagons. I mean, it's like, girl. And Choice just going on about his business. He going one way, one kid going this way. Girl, then I don't know now. One single black mom that's at Chuck E. Cheese with 6 children, and she can't handle them all. You leaving the 2-year old by himself to fend for himself. Then you got a baby here on his shoulder, and I have never seen a single black mom in that kind of condition in my life. Have you guys ever seen it? Put a one in the chat if you ever seen a single black mom who was at a water park and another mom had to come and help save one of her kids so they wouldn't drown. And you and the dad right there. And you got 2 babies in your hand, and then you got another baby who's about to drown. I've never seen a single black mom do that. So let me know. Let me know. And you know, you wanted somebody to feel sorry for you. What if somebody didn't feel sorry for you and they let little phenological? What if they had let him drown that day? But that mom or that black woman that you always talk about, you know how you always like to talk about black women? That black woman turned around and saved your son's life. Remember that time when Choice ran one way and his siblings, younger siblings, tried to wrangle him in? That was a black woman that helped you that day. Get amazing. And all the black women that you say ain't worth nothing. Remember how you said that? All the black women that I don't see you ever, not one time have I seen you shown anybody other than the black woman coming up to you for a picture. You have not shown not. I want to see you do that. I pay you $1,000 if I see somebody genuinely say, "Hey, it's Peach. Hey, it's Peach," and they're not a black woman. I want to see somebody other than a black woman comment on your page. Go to her pages. Go to her YouTube. Go to her TikTok. Go to her Facebook and come back to me and tell me if you see anybody else other than a black woman commenting something good or bad. Let me know who's over there commenting on your pages. But you're talking about black woman, Peach. You're talking about us. If you've been to one of her classes and you've been into one of those Zoom classes, come back and tell me if you saw somebody other than a black woman in one of her Zoom classes with Wake Up with Peach. Tell me, because I know y'all probably talking and goal setting and asking questions. Let me know if you saw. You the second person that said that things worth knowing, that she is delusional. Right? She knows she's not delusional. She's just outright telling a lie. It's a lie. Come back and tell me if you saw somebody other than a black woman at one of her classes. But she's on here dragging black women for filth, dragging single black mothers for filth. Come back and tell me when you see somebody else other than a black woman supporting her or ingesting her content. You're not going to see it because they're not there. They don't exist. Right. You're not going to see it, and you're not going to see anybody but black women. Right. And the whole family is fed up. Right. Things worth knowing. My kids are tired of all of it. They just want to travel. They just want to travel, and that's it. My kids are tired of shopping. They're tired of all my stuff. They're older now though. My kids are teenagers, so you got to dance on your head, and you got to do cartwheels to get teenagers excited about life. They do like the beach. My kids do like the beach, so I can still take them to the beach and get them excited because we don't live near the beach. We are in California, and we're just like it's a whole coast of beaches, but we are like we are the inland side of California. We're not really near a beach. So we're like an hour away from the beaches. But when we go to the beach, they love it. They like getting hotel rooms and staying on the beach because they feel like they're probably in Hawaii somewhere. But I told them that we would probably, because they've really been wanting to go to Texas this year, and I want to go to Hawaii. So we're going to go to um, one of them by the end of the summer. And it'll probably be Texas because we can get to Texas quicker on the plane than we can get to Hawaii. And then we're not going over the ocean, so my anxiety shouldn't be too bad. I try to get my kids to just drive to Texas. They looked at me like I was crazy. Like, Mom, why would we drive that long to get to Texas when we could get there? And I'm like, I don't know, but so yeah, but they definitely do not want to go to. They definitely would probably, rebel against me big time if I ever had designs on telling them we're going to Disneyland for every day in the summer. I don't. I wouldn't even do that to myself. And my kids are older. I can't do all that walking around and all that different stuff. I can't. I don't want to. I will not. But yeah, so you guys, I hope you all are having a good Sunday. I just had to get on here and do my little TED talk about that. Um, and if you're a black woman, you don't have to be a girl's girl. You don't have to uh, always champion black women, but you don't have to tear them down either. Sometimes it's just like a head nod, like when you see a black woman. And that's what I try to do. Every time I go out, if I see a black woman, I try to smile at her and I try to say hello because we're in this together. We know what the struggle is like. Again, whether we are married, single moms, or childless, we all know what the struggle is together. So if you see a black woman, say hi, give her a head nod. Be like my girl Yo Yo and try to get all the women together. Thank you, entertainment you love. I appreciate you. You you do get on here and you do the entertainment because it's all entertainment. Let's be real. It's all entertainment, but your entertainment at the same time, it should still help bring people together. It shouldn't separate people, especially black women. It should not make black women feel better about themselves because we got the whole world against us. Nobody is more hated than us. We get told we're the ugliest. We get told that we're undesirable, that we're not worth marrying. We get told that we're lazy. We get told all kinds of stuff by men, by our own men and men of other races. We get told this all the time. We don't need a woman that is the same as us doing the same thing. Stay on code. Stay on code, Peach. Even if you do feel like that sometimes, stay on code. Stand with your sisters. Because even though I don't like what you said, even though I don't like what you did, I'm still rooting for you. I still want you to be blessed, and I still want to see you do the doggone thing too. Because guess what? If somebody of another race today, right now today, came on here talking that mess about you, and you deserve it all, but let somebody come on here talking about you or trying to drag you and they don't look like us. Every last woman that's in this live, every last woman that watches you is gonna have your back. And it's gonna stand with you. Even after all the tearing down that you did. So stand with us and stop coming on social media and stop trying to tear women that look like you down. Because the very people that you are tearing down are the same people that are making it possible for you to have an income every month so that you don't have to work. Don't throw it in their faces because they're buying your classes because they too want to be able to stay home with their kids because they are working every day. Nobody's feeling sorry for them. They're working every day and coming home to take care of kids. Some of them as single moms. They don't need you giving them crap about how they're living their lives because they're not making the kind of money that you're making on social media. Because I do believe you are making some money. Not the money you want people to believe you're making, but you are making some money. My live helped you finish another session. Are you taking your braids down, yo yo? Your kids at the age, my kids at the age of 10 asked to travel for their vacations. Right, things worth knowing. These kids want to get on a plane. They want to get on a plane. They want to get in the sky. They want to see some things. They like going to Chuck E. Cheese and all that stuff too. But once they get older, they get to knowing stuff. Wait a minute. I heard about this place. I want to go to Turks and Caicos. Like these kids start asking about stuff. I want to go see the Egyptian pyramids. I want to go to Paris. These kids have caviar taste these days. Right, Karen. Period. And I'm going in about my black sisters. That's right. We have to. We have to. Like, there's no reason why we shouldn't be standing up for one another. Like, all the women that's in my life right now, they're here listening to me because I'm probably sounding a little entertaining, but the the real reason they're right here is because they're supporting me, and I appreciate you guys hanging in here with me for almost 3 hours. Because that's my intent to go at least 3 hours, so I hope y'all ready. I'm going to keep talking as long as you guys keep commenting and engaging. And if you just got here and you haven't gave my live a thumbs up, please do so. And if you haven't subscribed to me already, please do that too. Thank you kindly. I appreciate you supporting you and because you're speaking the truth. That's right, entertainment you love. That's right. As do you. I like everybody. Scratch that. I love everybody in this chat right now. I love watching your content. I love seeing your personalities. I'm so glad. And I'm going to go into that. Enough of Peach. We're going to go into uh, uh, Streamers University, which Entertainment You Love created to band together content creators to push them a little bit more and to help them reach their goals. I wasn't going live every day, and I certainly wouldn't have been going live about Peach a couple of months ago. I'm just kind of going along doing my thing as a content creator, and I like the content that I've been pushing out, but I've been stepping out a little bit more and doing a little different with these lives. And I see other people and other women coming on, and it's one thing to watch people do their content, but it's another thing when a creator goes live because you get to see their personality and you get to see them on the fly. So when someone puts up a post, it's probably edited and it's probably condensed down to what they want to show you. On live, it's unless they wrote it all out and unless they're sticking to a script, it's very much on the cuff, and you're getting more of a real sense of who a person is. I think it was Kendall that said, "Oh, I thought you was this way, but you were, but I see you differently now that you've been going live." So I was like, "Oh, okay." She thought I was more serious, and she didn't really know because that's not the side I really show of myself. I really, I edit my content, and not that I'm being fake, but it's the way I want to be shown. As opposed to when I go live, I'm probably more relaxed, and I'm probably more apt to say a little bit more of my opinion, whereas I'm more reserved, even when I'm being funny or when I'm trying to be cute. And a lot of times when I post content, it's just to be entertaining, and it's to uplift myself. It's to build my own confidence. So if I say, "Oh, I'm looking cute today," or something like that, that's to build my own confidence. And as well, if a mother, if another single black mom sees me, then they'll feel a little bit about better about themselves. If a plus size black woman sees me, then she's gonna feel like a little bit more confident about herself. When I was at Disneyland, I think I had blonde braids, and it was a younger girl, and she was my complexion, and she said, always wanted to wear blonde braids, but I didn't know how I would look in them. Can you tell me which colors you have? And I was able to tell her which color braids I have. But most girls that are my complexion, that are brown girls like me, they won't wear blonde hair, or they won't wear red lipstick. And so I'm glad that when I come online and I show myself, and I'm being who I am, that other people can see me, and they'll say, "Oh, you look cute." That's one thing, but then they can also see, "Wait a minute, I didn't feel comfortable to wear this," or "I didn't feel comfortable enough to show myself in this light." On my Facebook, I remember, but I know there's been content creators who were doing one type of content, but they saw me coming on doing my get ready with me's, coming on Facebook, showing me getting ready for the day, putting my makeup on. Then they started doing skincare routines, or they started being more open to do other types of content. And at first I was like, they did that because I did it. Then I was like, that's a part of being an influencer. And I'm gonna go back to the piece just for 1 second, and that's what I'm coming down on her about on this live. Not about her lifestyle. I'm not coming down on Peach because I hate her. I'm coming at her, woman to woman, sister to sister, black woman to black woman, black mother to black mother, is because of the influence that you have. You have a huge platform, Peach, and you need to use your platform for good. Even if you do come on here and you're trying to make money and you're being a little bit more salacious, okay, it's all entertainment. All this stuff is entertainment. But at the same time, be a little bit more wiser about how you're giving this content. That's right, entertainment. You love entertaining, educating, and elevating. That's what it's all about. I like to also give a few tips at the end of my life. So if anybody has any questions and I can help you with them, let me know, because your girl is a little social media savvy. I make 5 figures a month as a content creator. I'm not going to lie to you, my content has been lately. These algorithms have been hating on your girl, but when I get back in there, just wait till I get back in there. It's on like Donkey Kong. But yes, you don't have to wait to get monetized. You don't have to wait until you have millions of followers. You can make money the first day you get on social media. You can write a book. You might have expertise in a certain area, and you can teach people. You can be a consultant. The consulting game is a big business, and a lot of people don't know that. You can make thousands of dollars a month consulting people, and that's just basically telling somebody how to do something they don't know how to do, period. And you would be surprised at how many would pay you to give them the shortcut, because somebody may want you to tell them how you are running you may have a nonprofit, you may be a nurse, You may have to, some people may want to know how to pass that test. What is it that you guys have to take, the NCLEX? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, so don't get me to butchering it. You may have people who want to study with you so they can pass the test. Because one thing about people, some people are smart, but they have a hard time taking tests, right? So find whatever it is that you know, and it's not a scam, right? And it's not a scam. Because I would pay somebody if I'm trying to find out how to do something that can earn me some money and I don't know, not because I'm dumb, not because I can't learn. Who cares if I can find it on YouTube? I want to get it faster. I want to get right to the meat and potatoes. How do I do XYZ? You can be a consultant in practically anything and teach other people. And you can start doing that day one. You can start building your content around your consulting business. You can start building your content around the book you intend to publish. You can do whatever and come on social media and start putting your content out there. Get you a website, post your link to your content, or do lives like my girl Yo Yo does. Do lives and tell people, direct your traffic to your website, because that's, these social media platforms, they're making money off the content that you're producing. You should make money too. Anybody, I don't care if you're just commenting, I don't care if you're just watching somebody else, anybody who comes on social media should make money, because they are helping YouTube, Facebook, TikTok to keep people on their platforms. And the longer you can keep somebody on the platform, the longer you can ensure that they will ingest an ad, or watch an ad. That's how YouTube pays their creators, by the ads that are watched. So yeah. But guys, I thank you all for joining me. I don't see anybody with questions. So I'm gonna go ahead and head out of here because I'm getting thirsty and I need to go get me some water. And the bars were knocking at my door, so I know they have a question. And thank you all for joining my live. If you didn't already do so, please consider following or subscribing to my channel. And thank you, Yo Yo. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate you guys joining my live. Have a happy Sunday and a great week. Thank you, guys.